Hello, everybody. Good evening, world. Welcome to the weekly recap. With me, as always, is the man George. How you doing, Georgie?
Doing fantastic, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well, man. Looking forward to some of the recaps. I've seen some of your notes. So why don't you set us off, man? Get us started.
All right, man. Well, last week we finished our recap with Scott S and Ryan G. I can never remember how to say Scott's last name. Scott Schlutz.
Good luck, man. I'm horrible
Scott
with
S.
names.
Yeah, you and me both. Scott S and Ryan G.
Okay.
And Scott ended up taking the match, right? And that was basically like our first match of the entire week, right? So they both shot like low 50s, right? But Scott did end up taking the match 6-2.
Okay.
So that kind of started off our week. Couple big things happened this week. We had a couple 170 shot, couple 170 outs. We
Oh,
had two
well,
of them.
two of them. I know only of one. Who was the other one? I know
Kirk
Wade.
Kirk Maine, Kirk Maine and Wade. Yeah,
Wow.
Kirk Maine was playing Todd Widener, Todd W, and he took out a 170 against him. And then Wade did the same thing against Ronnie. Was it
Wow.
Ronnie? I believe it was Ronnie.
I have it somewhere here in the notes, somewhere in the notes who did
Yeah,
who
yeah,
won
yeah.
that
I'm
recap.
pretty sure it was Ronnie because it was right near the beginning of the week.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, okay.
right. Wade ended up throwing a 54 average. Ronnie was right behind him with a 51, but Ronnie ended up dropping that match 7-4.
Okay, okay.
All right. Some of the bigger matches that we had. Gonzalo, you played against Kirk Hess.
I did play Kirk. I did. It was a Monday actually.
Yep.
Yeah, and
How did that go?
it went well, man. I mean, I got off to a good start. Wasn't hitting my 20s as I usually go after, so I had a pivot, go to 19s. That worked out well for me. And then he kind of in that second set, he put me against the wall and said, I'm here." And when I get pushed against the wall, I fight back. So,
Yeah, 100%.
but no, he shot well. I just kind of got composure and then took care of it.
Nice, fantastic, nice title defense there. Because
Yeah.
he actually played today, and he played against who did he play against? Kyle G, and he threw a 60 something average, 60-61 average.
I seen
Right,
that. Yeah.
he took Kyle G 6-to-1. That's an impressive victory, especially when you consider it's Kyle G. Like the guy was the top dog in our ladder for a long time, right? So
I know. I think he may be going through a little bit of a hard times with the darts. I know he Clark took him out last week,
yep,
right?
yep.
To extend his like 2 3 months, half a year, 2 3 years winning streak. I forget what winning streak that he had. But who never know. But we should get him on one of these days here, and we'll see what happens. We'll ask him about that. We'll see.
Yeah, yeah, no kidding, right?
What else you got there?
No. What do we got here for the big dogs that have played? Michael Lee and Rusty played, right? Mike Lee, I not sure what his actual average is. I think it's around 60, but he threw a 58 average. Christopher Rusty Annette, I believe his full name is.
Okay.
Rusty, I think is just his nickname. Christopher Annette, he threw out a 56 average, so he can throw, right?
He did
I'm
throw a
just looking through.
75. There was actually a couple of in that leg. There was a couple of 71s in there too. So
Yeah,
they both shot well. They were it was just barely. I think he edged them out by maybe a point. One averaged 58, the other 57. Chris was 57. So
yep. No,
no,
they were right there. But Rusty ended up taking it in max sets. No, sorry, max legs. So 6-4, right? Um, so yeah, like again, can't wait to see what's next for Michael Lee and get him climbing and get him up there into like the top 15, and he's going to be someone to keep an eye out for, right?
yeah, my boy Shane played as well.
Yep,
He played
yep. Shane got his first match in.
Richard Block, and you know He threw an 18 daughter, 83. You know, Shane is
Oh wow.
Shane is a beast. That's all I gotta say.
Yep, man, he's going to be someone to give like the big guys like Chris Thiel, like that guy's a serious shot, right? Him, Mark Buckley, Shane's gonna. I can't wait to get Shane to the top, right? I almost wish that I could start these guys like halfway through. You know what I mean? Start them off at like 30 or something like that, right? But it just wouldn't be fair to the guys that have already climbed their way to the top. Like if I was to start Shane off at like even halfway at 40, that's not fair to like Mark Buckley who started at the very bottom and has worked his way all the way to the top, right? So
I
no
mean,
matter what, you start at the bottom and you work your way up.
and you also gotta learn the structure. You know, familiarize yourself with the folks, with the community. You know, I think it's just part of being in the ladder. You know what I mean? So,
Yep, fair enough. Yep,
uh,
good point. Definitely a good point.
but yeah, that was a good match. You know, I always just gotta say for all those who are tuning in, thank you and welcome as always. Subscribe, ding the bell, all that good YouTube stuff. What else you got this week?
Both Mark Buckley and Chris Steele both got matches in, and surprisingly, they both actually threw a 69 average. Both of them,
They did.
both threw a 69 average, right? So Mark Buckley over Kevin B, which I'd like to touch on as well. Uh, Kevin's going through a little bit of a rough time. His health isn't the best, and he's decided to step back from the ladder for a little bit, right? So we wish him all the best in his road to recovery, right? And I really, really hope to see him back on the ladder soon. The guy's a great shot. He's a great guy, and I know the entire ladder. I speak for the entire ladder when we wish you the best, brother. We definitely wish you the best. So
Absolutely. And having played him at least once or twice, like you said, he's a stand-up guy, a gentleman. You know, we definitely wish him the best, and my prayers will go out to him for a speedy recovery for sure.
yep,
Can't
100%,
wait to see him.
100%.
Can't wait to see him back
Yep.
on the ladder.
And he had nice things to say about everybody that he's played against on the ladder. He was very much like everyone on the ladder that I've met have been a stand-up guy, great people, right? And so, yeah, solid guy all around.
For sure. Wait, you played as well.
Let's not talk about that. Okay, let's continue on. We'll continue on with. Yeah, I had a couple matches. I had a couple matches this week. So
Um,
I played against who did I play? I played against Andrew.
Andrew
Andrew
K.
whooped me. He whooped me 6-1. I did throw
Mm,
out a 51 average though, so I was kind of happy about that, right? Like I know your average gets a little bit higher when you're not checking out, right? But I've been in such a slump lately. You know what? I'll take the 51 and run with it, right?
that's how my average got so high. Everybody else that shoots gets it out with it. Um, but he did take out an 88 average leg to close the match. So I mean that's nothing.
Yep.
That's a good leg. So
Oh, definitely was. That, like, and as soon as he hit it, I just threw down my darts, and I was just like, "There's nothing I can do about that. I can't even be upset about that." You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
great darts.
Have you ever gotten the thought of saying, you're off the ladder, I'm taking you off the chat? No, I'm
Yeah. I think I did that to Lisa this week. She challenged me, and I was like, "No, no, no. Lisa is removed from the chat."
Who else did you play this week?
Who was the other person that I played? I played Andrew, and I played Mike Edwards.
My God,
And that was a really close match. Neither of us really threw all that great. Our match was actually broken up into 3 sets because we kind of got disconnected and had to reconnect and disconnected. So I don't have an overall average for what we ended up averaging. I know the middle set we both shot fairly well. We were both in the low 50s, but then like the first set, I think we were at like 45 averages. The
okay.
last set was like probably around the same, right? But it was a really competitive match. I love playing against Mike Edwards. He's a great guy, and yeah, he just barely edged me out in the last match. I was actually 2 games up on him in the last set. I was like, all right, I just need one more match to close this out. And then he got a leg, and he got another leg, and I was like, damn it. I'm like, now it's anybody's game. And he took the last one.
Ah,
So
okay. All right, well, That's just the way it goes, man. Um,
Yep. Just when you think you've got it, you're on the brink of winning, and then they just start. It's one leg at a time, and you can climb your way right back into it, right?
that's what I said. When you're shooting great, your mind plays with you and against you. And just
Yep.
as when you're playing bad, it can help you move forward or just drag you down further. Um,
Yep.
what else here? Let's see. I'm looking at my notes here, my weather notes. Let's see who else we have. So we had a stream also yesterday morning or afternoon actually. Neil and David played the Family Feud,
Yep.
Family Battle there. And those who didn't get a chance to see it, look it up in the channel. It was a good match. It was I mean it was a battle. Neil came out real strong, and then the just the doubles gave out of him towards the middle of the match. But they both shot great, and David stuck with it. And he does not give up. So that was kudos to him on that.
Yep. That was almost max legs in that match. It went
Yeah,
to 8 legs to 6. 8 legs to 6. So
yeah,
one
yeah.
more leg, and that's the max you can get, right? 8 legs to 7 is the most legs you can play in a set, right? So
I mean, to your point though about just being one leg away, Neil had one leg on his and one dart on his favorite double 16 to take the whole match. He already had won the first set. This is it was second set. He already was like on a 2-0 on the second set, out on his favorite, and David came in and just I think he might have hit like a 50 out or something like that. But and then after that, it's
starts the
just
ball rolling, right?
that the momentum changed there. So, but kudos to them, man. They played well. It was really good. I don't like. I kept telling them. I said, next time don't go throw him some food across the table at him when you see him
Yeah.
next time. So
Neil actually outscored David in that match. He
yeah,
actually
yes, he did.
threw a 54 average to
52.
David's 52. Yep, yep.
That is correct. That is
So,
correct. What other highlights you have this week?
well, we were trying to stream a match for tonight, like right after this broadcast, if you want to call it that. Like right after us talking, and then talking to we got an interview right after this with a guest speaker. And then we were going to have a match that was going to be Doug versus Daniel Vigil. And both of those
Yeah.
guys are 60 averages. As much as they're lower on the ladder, it was lined up to be fireworks of a match. It didn't end up that way. Like one person showed up and the other one didn't. Sorry, Dan, but you didn't show up.
Oof. Oof.
Yeah, yeah, it's rough, but we call it like we see it, right?
That
So
is
they
true.
both throw in the 60s. They both throw in the 60s, and Dan ended up throwing a 50 average. So like I know that Dan's like, oh, he's not happy with himself, right? So Dan ended up dropping that set 6-1 against Doug, and Doug threw a 65 average. So
Mm.
he threw like just a little. I want to say that he's like a 60-61 average. So he threw a little bit above his average, right? And Dan was just well below his average, right? So it was lined up to be fireworks. Didn't end up that way, but like that's the way it is. Sometimes on paper it looks like it's going to be a great match, and it doesn't end up that way. And then other times, like it looks like it might be a blowout, and guys step up and ends up being fireworks, right? So yeah,
Mike, Dart League is on. Just wanted to say hi to him. He's a follower. He always watches us. So wanted to say hi to
yep.
him. He's in the chat and he says, "Get a better mic."
That's probably me, right? Talking
Yeah.
to me. Oh shit. Yeah, he
So
actually just played. He actually just played against somebody. Let me pull it up real quick because I know it's in the ladder challenge lobby. He just played Real.
oh Real. Okay.
Yep. So they both threw in like the high 40s. Mike ended up taking it. He dropped the first set 3 straight to Real, and then he came back and won almost in max leg. Yeah, max legs for the next 2 sets. So
All
Yeah,
right.
3-2, 3-2, and Mike takes the W.
Oh man, very nice, very nice.
Yeah,
Let's see. We got to play some golf with him, see how that works out.
yep,
What else we have here? Ian played Brad Willett this week as well. I think
yep,
Ian took that in some straight sets, right? I think he may have won. He went 2-0 on that, and he threw a 75 average in one of those legs. So
yep.
some
I
big
think they were
numbers.
both in like the high 40s for that set for
Yeah,
that match. Yeah,
yeah.
right.
We look at the report, we see a lot of people shooting their averages, which is good. You see some improvements, and then you see some very high averages like 75s, just on someone who typically shooting like mid 40s or low 50s, like so you're seeing that more often. So people are they get to a point where they're in the zone and they're hitting the numbers, man. So it's really nice to see that.
It's what brings us back. You know what I mean? Like you might be throwing garbage, 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 and then all of a sudden you hit a set where you threw like a 65 or a 70 and sometimes 80 average, and you're just like, I think I got this game figured out now.
Yeah,
You don't,
and then you
but
come
it
back
brings you back. It
and
really
on your
brings you back.
180 you throw a Jerry, right? That's what happens around 11.
Exactly, exactly, exactly.
And then
So
you come down from those clouds thinking you're all that. I hear you. What else is there to highlight? Amanda Macaro played Nikki Tungsten, or Nick. Um,
Nick Sick,
Nick,
CIC is what he goes by in our group chat,
yeah, yeah.
right? Nick took that one.
He took that 2-0. Yeah, Christopher, Annette, or Rusty, you mentioned.
Rusty, yep,
Yeah, he played Chow as well. Chow took that one though, right?
yep, yep. Chow actually shot really well in that one. If I don't actually have it on my notes, but I'm pretty sure he was like 50, 54, 55 average, something like that.
Yeah, yeah. He
So
shot up
yeah,
there,
he
and
shot really well.
yeah, he got a 60 average in one of those legs as well. He did great. Lorenzo played Josh Parsons.
Yep, Lorenzo took that one, correct?
Yeah, yeah. 2-0, the
Yep,
Red Dot Assassin. I played him a
yep,
couple of times to practicing this week, so it was nice seeing him.
yep, for
Uh,
sure. It's nice to have him back on the ladder, right?
yeah,
He
yes.
dropped off there for a while, right? And yeah, he found his way back. Debbie beat Eric. I believe that's three wins in a row for Debbie, right? First, and
Yes.
it's so nice to see it because like she just struggled so long on the ladder. So to see her starting to put together some wins and getting herself up there. I know she just had a loss to someone just either yesterday or the day before, but she put like three wins together in a row,
That's
right? So
good.
that's yeah, it's fantastic.
And that was also a battle too. So, it's they're not, they're not easy wins. She's putting in the work.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah, yeah. And I love Eric, man. Every time I play him, I love talking to Eric, man. So, Eric, if you're listening, love you, man. Um, what else? So tell me, what was the highlight of all the matches this week, in your eyes?
In my eyes, right now, the number one match that I really enjoyed seeing this week is probably Kirk Hess. Kirk Hess putting up like a 61 average against Kyle G. Like that's phenomenal. That's against Kyle G. It's to see people like that. I haven't really seen those numbers from Kirk Hess in a while. I believe he used to throw them pretty regularly, but he hasn't been throwing 60 averages for a while now. So it's good
Woo,
good to see that coming out of him for
I
sure.
dodged the bullet there.
Yeah, you really did. You really did, right? Yeah,
um,
right.
so I want us to, and you usually point out, the matches to come this week and all the challenges, but I do want to bring out, there was a Tom Allen and Mark Nix. They had a match, and I wasn't really sure what to make out of it. And I didn't follow the chat, but you know, we just want to remind people the format, because it looked like they played three sets instead of a best of three.
Yep, yep. They did. They and who was it again? I remember the match, but I can't remember who was
Right, it
involved
was
in the match.
Tom Allen and Mark Nix.
Yeah, so they're both very low on the ladder. They're both brand new, right? And I actually went during my daily recaps. I actually pointed it out that like he ended up winning 9 games to like 1 or something like that,
Yes.
right? And I was like, the 9 games, as much as you won nine games, fantastic. I'm like, great shooting, right? But the actual score was only like 6-1 because as soon as he won the 2 sets, it was over,
Right. So,
right?
once again, I think the top five, or from 1 to 5, or when you're playing for the championship, is when the format changes and it just becomes a best of five sets rather than best of three.
Uh,
But everything's the same.
just for the title shot, just for
Right.
the
Just
title
for the
shot,
just for the title shot.
just the
Oh,
title
okay.
shot
Okay.
is more for everyone else. It's all best of 3 sets.
Oh, okay. Okay. Wow. I always thought that the top five. So, woof.
No, listen
Good
to
thing.
this guy. He's been up top so long he forgets the format for the rest. Eh?
Well, don't tell Clark that. I don't want him to get too. I don't want. I don't want to give him. I don't want to. I don't want to give him some energy in his direction. But all right. So why don't you highlight? Let us
A
know
couple of
a couple of 2 matches to come, and then we'll start bringing in the guest. I'll start the producer to start waving in our guest.
sounds good. Let's see what we've got. I believe Michael Lee. Let me just look and see what Michael Lee's. Yep, 57. So him and Shane are going to play against each other. That's going to be, as much as like Shane's a heavy favorite, right? Shane against the 57 average. You can expect the Michael Lee to probably put up like low 60s average, right? And I'm expecting Shane to be hitting like around 70s against him, right? So that's going to be a great match.
That is going to
Oh,
be a
we
great
had that
match.
forfeit that we didn't get to see the match. Um, Ray Sturgis ended up forfeiting to Brian Bell Braddock. Yeah. Ray just didn't have enough time to get the match in. He completely owned it. He was just like, you know what? He's like, it's completely on me. Brian's been trying to play, and he said, I'm just going to have to forfeit my spot. Brian didn't want to take the spot that way, so he just left it be. So he stayed in his spot.
Oh,
Ray dropped down the 5 spots for forfeiting, right?
mhm.
And he's gone on vacation right now just to try and he's building a house or something like that. So he's trying to get that done. So I'm going to have a talk with him and hopefully we can get him back playing again regularly soon, right? So that was a little disappointing.
Yeah.
Um, Other than that, there's really not any. Oh, Mark Buckley and Nick Highland. That's going to be a good match. Nick Highland. So Mark Buckley's now in 10th spot, and he actually thought that he was challenging Nick Highland in 5th spot, but because Dustin jumped him, it knocked him down to 6th.
Oh,
So Mark Buckley's still not, even if he beats Nick Highland, he's still not going to be in the top 5. So it's still going to take him a couple more matches before he's calling out your name there, Gonzalo, or Clark's,
or Clark. You never know.
or whoever else can dethrone you before Mark Buckley gets there,
Well,
right?
I'm looking to try to make it through the new year. With we'll see, but I know I got at least one match at a time is what I say. One match at a
Yep,
time.
100%. Another big match that's coming up is Kirk Chapman versus Dustin. That's going to be a good match as well, right? Oh, and your next Kirk Hess just got called out by Miles. So the winner of that is going to have a title shot against you. So
Oh
it's either going
wow.
to be Kirk Hess or Miles.
Oh man. Well, like I said, I got somebody else to worry
One at a
about right
time,
now.
one at
One
a
at a
time,
time.
right?
And, I'm
Yeah,
not.
yeah, yeah.
I don't dismiss
It's
anybody,
just
especially.
exciting matches that are coming up, right? Exciting matches.
Listen, the guys coming in with like what 2 decade winning streak. Like, I mean, I got my work cut out for me. You know what I mean?
Yep,
So, so what can I say? What can I say?
yep. All right,
So
I think that's pretty much it, brother.
that's it. Well, that concludes um the recap portion of everything. I think now we're gonna move into our player highlight portion of the
Yep.
of the stream. So, why don't I let you introduce our guest today? And
He's
yeah, so
one of
I'll,
my
I'll let you
favorites.
introduce. Go
All
ahead.
right,
Why don't you let us go ahead? Go for it.
the underdog, the always underdog, the always underdog,
You
Clark.
guys talking? You guys talking about me? Come on, let's go, Gonzo.
Clark, brother, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, guys. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, man. Good to
Yeah,
have you
thanks for
on, man.
having me on. Yeah, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Oh, I think we lost him for a second. But
No.
George, what I was saying, I got I caught up with Rick Clark earlier, and what we were saying is, I feel like you set this up. I feel like I'm on the heavyweight bout weigh-in on the day before, and I need to go carb up for my match tomorrow. You know what I mean? So you're gonna have us at yeah, exactly. You're gonna be all up in the camera, face to face.
Well, if I can just get you both to turn like Gonzalo, if you turn to your left, and yep, there you go, and then you
Oh
guys, no,
no!
you'd have to turn the other way. There you go. Now you guys, we got the face off right there.
Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Yeah, yeah.
So welcome, Clark. Welcome, man. Nice to have
Thanks,
you. Thank you
guys.
for
Thanks for
joining us.
having me on. Yeah, thanks for having me on. Appreciate being here.
All right, Clark, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, man? Where you're from? What do you do for a living?
Okay. So I currently reside in Wilmington, well, outside of Wilmington, North Carolina. So I'm right on the coast, the greatest coast in the country, if you ask me. Um, as far as work goes, I've been working in the automotive collision repair industry for the last 10 years. So that's what I pretty much do for a living, do stuff like dent repair and car prep and painting, all that good stuff and whatnot. It's fun. Fun to get
Oh
play
yeah,
with
I
my
bet.
hands all day. Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah.
kind of
You
me in a
know,
nutshell. Yeah. Me in a nutshell. I'm playing with my hands all day and fixing things. So it's cool, rewarding, and a lot of fun.
fantastic.
Yeah.
What about your dart journey? Where did you start? How long did you start?
So I know Kirk Chapman kind of said, I'm going to date myself here last
Yeah.
week. Oh, I'm going to date myself. It started about in 1988,
Oh
playing in
wow.
playing in basements with just your standard brass darts and that crappy little board with the two sides and whatnot. That I had some good friends that I grew up with in high school. We played when I was living in Cleveland, Ohio. We started playing in the leagues there through the Cleveland Darter Club. Played in there through, I want to say, from about 92 through 2004 when I moved down to North Carolina. And then I was going to play for a little bit down here in North Carolina, but just didn't really get into the groove of their format and how they were running things. It just, I don't know what it was. So I stepped away for a little bit and then picked up things during COVID when I moved out here to Wilmington. I actually got furloughed from work during COVID, and that's when I put up my dartboard and started playing to have something to do. So I was out for about 10 years, picked it right back up again, met some people online through webcam darts, started running some tournaments with them. And then we did that for about 2 years. And then I started getting into other groups like Frozen 40s and then into your ladder and started running a few things by myself or whatnot. And that's kind of where I am now after all this time. So I stay at home and play darts at home. It's comfortable.
Yeah, yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
Right?
Yeah, because
The
you kind of get
refrigerator,
your feet, you get
the
your feet wet with
refrigerator's
like a lot of different
yeah.
you get your feet wet with like a lot of different like running tournaments and stuff like that. You've got
Mm-hmm.
your own cricket ladder that you're running now as well,
Yep.
right?
That's coming about where I think we're going to start on January 8th. And we're going to kind of run it like a mirror in a sense, the way you do your ladder instead of actually doing like a league format. I like the way the ladder plays to itself as far as people can come in and off whenever they want, play whenever they want, and they can progress however they see fit. It just makes more sense for everybody from from a perspective of we all have other things to do. We know this. So I like the way the ladder format allows you to do those kind of things and just kind of pick up and go as you want. So that's what
Fantastic.
we're doing with that. Yeah. So we're in the
Nice.
process now of just kind of getting everything set up or whatnot. And I think I'm going to put up a registration post tomorrow at some point and just kind of get like the basics of who's in or who's out, and then go live with it on January 8th once the worlds are over, because we all got to watch darts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I gotta look
Yeah,
into
but
put in some days.
what was that, Gonzalo?
So I gotta put in some sick days.
Right.
Yeah,
Yep. Yeah, the second and the third for sure. That's what I'm putting in for.
That's true. That's what the finals are, right?
Yeah. Yep. That'd
nice.
be my favorite
So
time.
how long have you been playing in the ladder then?
Since I want to say August,
We lost him for a second.
Middle of August. So.
Um, but while he there, do you have the questions ready? So,
Oh,
the,
let me see.
I mean, I'm just
The
curious.
Clark 10.
The Clark 10. I mean, I was hoping that you come back and give him a George 10, so he because so you kind of give him a curveball, right? He can't answer his own
I know,
questions.
but
It's like
there's
giving
no
him a
curveball.
it's like giving him an
He
open
keeps
book test.
messaging me. He knows everything. It's his test.
Oh,
Now
come on
he
now.
messaged me a couple extras, so this might be like the Clark 14 or something like that today. So
All right, fair enough, fair
all
enough.
right,
But
all
you were
right.
saying that you
So
were playing on the ladder.
Since about I want to say like late August or so.
Okay.
Yeah,
nice.
somewhere right around there. I forget who got me onto it. I think it was Ray Chrisimoto or whatever his name is.
Oh,
However
Yep.
you
Ray Ray
pronounce
Cedar.
that last name, Racy. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
he got me in on the ladder.
So he's the one that got
But
a curse. Got it.
yeah, so before you give me the questions, George, I would just I know everybody gives you kudos on how well run this ladder is and and whatnot, but I think another shout out needs to go out to all the players on it as well too, and the community that we've all kind of built. And there's just a plethora of just wonderful people in this ladder. They're just friendly, want to play darts, and get along. And whether it's banter or carrying on in the chat or even when during a game or whatever, I've never had a bad match. I've never had a quarrel with anybody, and that's testament to the players as well too. So I have to give everybody on that ladder a good, nice
100%.
golf clap for everything that they've done to help propel this.
That is true.
Yep.
That is a good point. That is a good point. I mean, it is a place where we actually do a little bit as well as players,
Mhm.
encourage each other and all that. So yeah, that's right. Thank you for that reminder. That's a very good point.
No
Very
problem.
good
Yep.
point.
It's our ladder, right? Like
It's our ladder,
it's
yes.
our community, right? So
Yep. The ownership shows, and that's the thing that I see with the players. The ownership shows.
yeah, fantastic. All right, let's ask you a few questions here. Who's your favorite dart player?
Gary Anderson.
Gary Anderson.
Yeah.
All right. Favorite brand of darts?
That's an easy one. It's shot all the way.
You and me both.
Yeah.
All
Just
right.
the way the craftsmanship that goes in those darts, you can sit there and look at them for an hour and like, I can throw these.
You're right.
They're just amazing darts.
They really are. What's the best board on the market?
Blade 4. Can't find
Blade
it.
4.
So I'll go with the Blade.
My oldest board.
I know they're
No,
almost.
I got a Blade 3.
So I'll go
Blade
with
3.
Blade 5 dual core is probably the best one on the market, I think.
That's what I have.
Mm.
That's what I shoot.
What's your best win on the ladder?
David Curry.
David Curry, really, eh?
Yeah. So that kind of propelled me at that point. He was clobbering me that first set. He just literally clobbered me. And then something just clicked in and I had one of those moments and I ripped off the next 6 legs and I was 6 for 10 on my doubles. He had no answer.
Wow.
And we both ended up shooting like 61, 62 average. And it just one of those things that off I went.
Before the next
That's
question,
fantastic.
I want to call a timeout here. I want to ask you said that was a good match. What about last week's match with Kyle G, man?
Oh,
what did that do to you? Because I caught up with you a little bit after that. And
yeah, we did have a long talk about that. And you saw the averages. We were both under 50, right?
Yeah.
So I'll say this: First time playing him. We both knew what was on the line. And you were streaming the match. Nerves, 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 and nerves. Dude,
Yep.
that game wrecked me. From just from a mental standpoint, it completely wrecked me. I haven't gone above 50 since. That's how much that game wrecked me.
No
Just,
way.
yeah.
I mean,
Just the mental flush and the nerves there. And I'm sure Kyle could probably attest to this as well too. And I'm gonna come right out and say I had no business winning that match. I really did. It was all nerves. He knows it. I think I know it as well too. And I wish
lost
we
him for
could
a little
both
bit,
win.
but while he comes back, I caught up with him a little bit after that, and I can tell you he was literally he showed me his hand. His hand was shaking like this on the nerves. Like he was pale. Like he looked like he
Yeah,
had just ran a 5K or maybe like a marathon. He
yeah,
he
That's
he, was,
fantastic.
he looked worn out. Yeah.
yeah. I was worn out.
Yeah.
It
So
was
that
worn
was a good match though. So
out.
that
Mhm.
was a good match. But go ahead. Give him the next question there, Georgie.
All right. What's your worst loss on the ladder?
Larry French. I think
Larry French Jr.?
Yep. My doubles are horrendous that day. They just I couldn't hit one to save my life, and I was scoring well. I was right with them the whole time except for that the doubles. It hurt.
Yeah. And that's got to be your last loss then, I guess.
It is. Yep, that was my last loss.
That was like 2 years
And
ago.
you've been on. Yeah, it's like 2 years ago.
Wait a minute. Didn't you play Teals, Christopher Teal?
I did play deals. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he whooped me.
All right. So it's not 2 years. It's like a year and a half only. You know,
I
you
lost
gotta
to Teal. I
prepare
think I lost to
differently.
Teal. I beat somebody, and then I lost to Larry, and then I went on the run.
All right. So it's
Fantastic.
worth. Yeah, losing to Teal is definitely worth forgetting because you want to cry after that. Yeah, I hear you.
What's your highest checkout?
On the ladder,
No, in general.
I did every.
Guys, quiet.
I'm
Sorry,
happy
guys.
to say I'm happy and sad to say I've hit everything but the 170.
No way.
Yeah, over the 30 years I've been playing. Yeah,
Fantastic. Those are some nice outs. And like I consider 167 to be the hardest out, the hardest out you can take. Like 170, you're staying at the 20s. 167, you're switching from one triple to another.
Mhm. Up down.
That's the hardest. That's the hardest out, right? So
What's crazy about that? If you ask me about the 170, I can't tell you how many times I've hit playing cricket, but never an 01. Never an 01.
that's fantastic.
That is funny.
All right, where were we? Highest checkout. The worst double on the board.
The one I don't hit.
No number,
Or
just if I'm missing it, I hate it.
Or double three. Double three.
Double three. Yeah, that's a bad one. Player you like facing the most?
Okay, if you ask me the other question, go along this, I'm going to say the same person. Ray C. I'll explain in a minute. He's
All
also
right,
the
and then
worst
he's the worst. All right,
Yep.
why is that?
because he's annoying. In a good way. In a good way. Hear me out, Ray. If you're listening, this is a good thing. Okay, George, go back and look at some of his matches. That guy will shoot a 54 average against a 54 player. He'll shoot a 45 average against a 45 average player, a 47 against a 47. That guy is all over the map. That's why he's annoying, because you can't get any separation from him. He plays up or down to every single person he plays. So when you're playing him, it pushes you, but you're also kind of like, why is he still here? So it's kind of like playing. He's like a doppelganger in a sense, because he mimics everything that he's of the person he's playing. It's just weird. Every time I look at his scores, it's like this against someone.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's
He's
a good thing.
like a
It's a
chameleon,
very good thing.
like a chameleon. What's your darting nickname?
The Deadeye Jedi.
The
And
Dead-Eyed Jedi. That's a good one.
Yeah,
Jedi,
and that comes
Jedi.
from old team names, Deadeye Jedi, as we were called. So
Okay.
Nice.
that's where I got that from. Even though I hit like a stormtrooper.
I was gonna say we had a stormtrooper playing yesterday. I better watch these movies.
All right, and then I'll ask you the most recent questions that you kind of sent me, because
All right.
this was all this speed round of questions was all Clark's idea. So, what darts are you currently throwing?
I have two actually. I have them right here. So I have the Harrow's Taipans.
Hmm.
Oh, I love the looks of those.
Yeah, the very nice grip there, and the Winmau Vantage.
Oh, I have those. So by
Yeah.
MVG.
Yep. It just
Yeah,
depends on
those are great
just
darts as
depends on
well.
how my grip feels on which one I'm using.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah, I actually threw the Taipans at the dart store, and I actually didn't grab them because I just didn't like the way they feel for myself. But I think they look phenomenal. As soon as I seen them online, I was just like, those are beautiful darts.
They are.
Right?
They're just as nice in person.
Yeah, right. What's the best flight shaft combo?
I'm going to go with what I'm currently using, which is the L style dimples for the flights and the shot Tau carbons for the shafts. The best carbon and cheapest carbon shaft on the market. They last forever.
Shot one?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I haven't
I'm a big L style guy as well.
Yeah, I haven't changed my shafts in 2 years.
That's fantastic. Mm-hmm. And it helps having the L styles because you're not Robin Hooding them or breaking the ends on them or anything, right? But
oh no, I stab them all the time.
Do you really?
Oh yeah, they go right through the hole, right through that little hole there.
Oh.
Well, you don't have the champagne ring in it.
Well, that one I don't, but I still put it in the champagne ring. I'll stick them right in there all the time.
No way. I've only stabbed a champagne ring, or I don't have the champagne rings on mine. Mine are cupped. Where's mine are cupped? Like there's as much as it looks like there's a hole there. That's the cup, right? But I've actually stuck a dart right into the top of the and just didn't ruin it or anything, but yeah.
You're like, it's not supposed to do that.
Yeah, exactly. It's not supposed to do that, right? But yeah, they're great flights, great shafts, and they last forever, right?
Sure.
What's your favorite dart moment?
So this is gonna be kind of cool. So when I was playing in the Cleveland Darter Club, they had one of the biggest tournaments on the East Coast. I think they used to run at about $25,000 prize fund. I had the privilege and the honor of playing a very young Paul Lim and got my ass kicked in cricket.
Nice.
And he was literally like this because you don't know, right? But that's exactly what he said afterwards. He's like, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. Like, well, how could you? Right? But that was pretty cool to actually play Paul Lim.
Nice.
I think it's about 1998 or 99, somewhere on there.
All right. And these two questions are going to be, they're out of my range of what I know, because I don't really follow the online or professional darts all that much, right? I catch matches here and there, but who's the most underrated and overrated PDC player?
I'm going to start with overrated because it's easier for me. It's Dimitri Vandenberg. Because he's just kind of disappeared as far as that goes. The most underrated, I want to say Ryan Searle. Because I see this guy, and I don't know how much you know about these guys. I watch the PDC as much as I can, but he's technically considered legally blind.
No way.
So legally blind meaning that his vision is 2200. So he can see up to about 20 feet and then everything blurs out. But still to stand there and have that he's, you know, in a sense legally blind, but can sit, you know, 8 feet back and still see a dartboard and play darts and be like in the top 60 in the world. Pretty incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, but
he's
I think
he's
very
kind of got his
underrated.
own he's kind of got his own tunnel vision then, right? Like,
yep, pretty much.
Blur everything else out and just focus on the board.
Might be the best non-handicap nobody knows about.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good shot. I like. He also shoots very heavy darts too. Like
Yeah,
they pound the
32s.
board. Yeah, he's a heavy weightlifter. I don't know. That's cool. Dimitri, you just don't like his hairstyle. That's what it is. You could say it. It's all right. You know.
Just dance moves, man. He needs a better tune.
Yeah, he does. I do like that, but okay. You know, I got one for you here. What would be
Okay.
your entry song?
Well, I have to go with one that fits my nickname. So it's either the Rebel Alliance theme song, or we could go with the what is it? The Empire, the Galactic Empire. The da 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 da. That'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool to go down. Awesome. Yeah, the other one would be probably Edgar Winter's Frankenstein. If you know that song.
No, not familiar.
I'm dating you guys.
Yeah, no, my wife's in the background and she's like, nice. I like it. And I like your answer.
So it's approved. It's approved. But what's it called? Yeah, well, I mean, we're kind of coming close to the end here, but you know, once again, Clark, thank you so much for joining us. Always, you know,
appreciate it, guys.
Seeing you, and I mean, I think me and you have a date tomorrow.
We do have a date tomorrow.
It's not going to be in the park looking at lights or anything like that. It's going to be the dartboard. But you know, hopefully we'll get a stream going for that. You got to talk to somebody about that.
Oh yeah, don't let my nerves get into that one and stream it. Oh no.
No. He needs to be focused. No nerves at all.
I'll be all right. I'll be all right.
And thank you again also for doing your part. You know, I know you run also like another well, you talked about it, but the cricket league and you know, now taking a little bit of a change and doing a couple of things, but I know it's not easy. So thank you also for helping out the dark community. Yeah. You know, I know it's you know, you and George, you could be doing different things and you could just be playing darts and letting somebody else do the work, but you guys put in the work. We thank you guys for that.
Yeah.
So
I can't sit back. That's just in my nature. It's just what it is. It's at that point where I'm like 60 years old, so I want to start giving back a little bit.
Okay.
That's why I do it. That's why I do it.
All right. So I got a little bit of time to start giving back. Fair enough. But thank you very much.
Tomorrow night, if you want.
No pressure. No pressure. Well, once again, thank you everybody for joining us.
No problem,
guys. A couple of people in the
thanks everybody.
Brizzle joined in. Kirk Chapman is in the chat. Teals was in there. Mike Dartboard was in there. So thank you guys once again for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. I know the holidays are coming, so we may be taking a break here and there, but we are going to be looking and reaching out. If you want to stream a match, let us know. We'll be more than happy to try to work something through it. And once again, to our special guest, I should have downloaded the song, the dun 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 song.
That would have been, right?
That would have been,
yeah, that would have been a perfect intro, right?
Had I known, right? Had I known.
Right.
All right, gentlemen. Thank you again.
Hey, happy holidays to you both. Happy holidays, everybody on the ladder as well, too.
Take care, guys. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, and God bless you. Have a good one.